Good afternoon and welcome to the vault. I got the background music still jamming over here, that vault intro, right? You guys love it. So listen, this week, my friends, is the week of the cardboard challenge, the NuMinds global 24-hour cardboard challenge. That means across planet Earth, in honor of Earth Day, which is this week, we have the cardboard challenge happening. And if you haven't seen it yet, I need you to go to NuMinds.tv/Earth Day 2020, and you're going to see everything you need to be ready for the cardboard challenge. So what you're going to find are instructional videos, insights, challenges, things for you to do during those 24 hours, and places for you to submit the things you're doing to share with the world. It's super cool stuff. But here on regular old NuMinds TV, we're going to be doing things all week that somehow relate to this theme of Earth Day, of the cardboard challenge, of getting extra creative with simple recyclable materials. And guys, can it get any more simple and awesome than paper, than doing magic with a piece of paper? Okay, not magic, but doing magical things and projects with a simple piece of paper. And if you've tuned into my sessions of the vault before, you know that I like things that are kind of like mysterious for some reason. That's something about me. I like secrets and things that are hidden, that have to be discovered, that are kind of veiled, and they take a little work to find out, like the codes and ciphers lessons and episodes that you've seen me do. So today, in honor of our kind of like the science of paper, is we're going to explore how, with a little bit of chemistry and a little bit of imagination, we can recreate an ancient pirate map. Okay? So here's the deal. When you think of a treasure map, you think of like some real basic things, like, you know, the phrase X marks the spot, and you know you probably have to go find that X somehow. And it could be a place where it's this strange situation where the person, let's just say it's a pirate, the pirate hiding the treasure kind of wanted someone, or him or herself, to be able to find it. So he needed to leave some instructions behind of where it was, but at the same time didn't want to make it too easy to find, so that if the map got into the wrong hands, they wouldn't necessarily be able to find it easily. So we're going to make a treasure map today, a simple treasure map, and we're going to make it look super old. This is where the chemistry comes in. So we've got some imagination, plus a bit of chemistry, plus a little bit of math, plus some cartography, which is the science of map making, because we need to learn a couple of basic things about that. And that all ties together. And we're going to have, by the time this short lesson is over today, you're going to know how to create an ancient weathered treasure map. Okay? We'll say it's from pirates. Okay, so there's two ways we can do this. One is just kind of invent a map from pure imagination and create landmarks and things in it that are important. So like, this is an example, okay? So we have kind of like a typical treasure map. What do you see? You've got X marks the spot, right? Every good treasure map has its X where the treasure's buried. And then I want you to notice something, because there's a difference between a treasure map and a traditional map that would be used for navigation. A traditional map needs to include every possible detail so that we don't get lost. If I'm driving somewhere and I turn on Google Maps, I want every little road and landmark to be included so that I have a reference point and know exactly where to turn right, left, etc. Okay? So level of detail is very important in a traditional map, like a road map. Okay? But for a treasure map, you almost want to be as minimal as possible. And what you want are just some basic reference points for whoever's finding the treasure. Okay? So in this case, what do you got? Okay, I know somewhere to the east of our treasure, there's some mountains. Okay, that's really general, right? Is it a specific mountain or some kind of formation? Not really. It's just I know there's some mountains. Here, interesting, there are some palm trees. So this must be a beachy area, okay? What do you think I want to do when I'm near whatever that is? I think I'm gonna be careful because that's like the universal symbol of danger, right? So I'm gonna be careful there. I've got some more mountains, some more palm trees. Say hi to the shark. You guys get the picture? So you kind of like you land on shore here, right? And then you're gonna navigate around these major landmarks, but you're not adding too much detail. Okay? So that's the difference between a traditional road map or even a topographical map and a treasure map is you just want to include the minimal number of landmarks that you might need to lead to the treasure. Okay? So that's option one. Option one is just from your pure imagination. Get a sheet of paper, get some markers, and imagine a landscape where there's a treasure buried and include some landmarks. The landmark could be a tower, it could be a valley, a river, a canyon, some mountains, an old abandoned, some old ruins from a previous civilization, like whatever you think would be landmarks. A cool imaginary landscape. It could be from a piece of fiction. Maybe you are in Middle Earth. Maybe you're on Tatooine. Maybe you're near Hogwarts burying a treasure, right? Unlimited possibilities. Just get a paper and some markers and do that. Option two is kind of what I'm calling next level. And this is literally in your own backyard, right? In your own backyard, go bury a little treasure. Now, get permission, get a little garden shovel, and decide what you want to bury. Only bury what's your right to bury or you have permission to. Maybe you have an old metal box. Maybe it's just a Ziploc baggie, and will kind of keep it dry at least for a while. And then you're going to have to do a sketch of your backyard and include some reference points to create a treasure map. Now I did one. Okay, this is my backyard. Okay, now it's not as dramatic as that treasure island, right? But here, let me try to find the best way. Okay. So what do we have here? All right. So in my backyard, notice I didn't include much, but we have this is the back door, right? We've got some double French doors here leading to the backyard. This looks like a giant piece of paper, but it's not. It's actually a garden. It's like a raised garden bed. Over here is a pecan tree, and over here in the corner we have some bamboo growing. All right? That's like a compost bin, etc. So the treasure is right here next to the bamboo. So the bamboo is probably the most important reference point. But the pecan tree is also important. And here's where the math comes in. Now, it's really important when you're drawing a map that someone else is going to follow that you give them some idea of what's called the scale, right? Because obviously a map is a micro version of the reality that it's describing, okay? So what we have to do is let people know, especially if they've never been in my backyard, they need some kind of reference point for the distances between things. So here's what I did. I knew that the edge of the garden here was 5 feet, so I made that my scale. So with another piece of paper, so once you've drawn the sketch of your backyard like this with the landmarks, find something that you can measure with a tape measure or even a ruler. It only has to be a few feet, and you can even ask your mom or dad to measure it out with their feet, right? This isn't a case of necessarily being scientific. And so get a reference point. I'd recommend making your reference 3 feet or 5 feet. If you've got a huge backyard, you can make it 10 feet, but I think 5 feet is probably good. So it just so happens that the edge of this garden is 5 feet in real life. So what I want people to know is if they're trying to navigate my map, they need a concept of the distances. So that's where the scale comes in. That's why I created this scale, which means on this map, that much distance from there to there is 5 feet. So that gives me an idea. If I'm walking from the pecan tree to the garden, 5, 10, 15, a little over 15 feet. And actually, if you remember, if you tuned in to the Vault episode the other day when I launched the paper airplane, I was pretty much underneath the pecan tree, and it was 18 feet to the patio area. So pretty darn accurate, okay? And then the other thing that a good map always needs is a compass rose, okay? A compass rose. I got a little note that Miss Shay said she's having trouble hearing me. I think it's because I put the clipboard between me and the new microphone, okay? So Miss Shay, let me know if that's better when the feed catches up with this, okay? And so the other thing that a good map always needs is what's called a compass rose, okay? A compass rose is this little ditty here that shows the main cardinal directions: north, south, east, west. They can also show the intermediate directions of northeast, southeast, northwest, etc. But as a minimum, you have to have the 4 cardinal directions. Some only label north, and then just assume that you can figure out the rest from there. But how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Well, nowadays with our phones, there are some very cool apps that you can download. So if you don't have your own device, ask mom or dad if they can download one of those free compass apps. And what I'm going to do is show you. I downloaded one on my phone so I could create my map. Okay. I'm going to show you real quick. Okay. It's called Smart Compass. This one's called Smart Compass. You know, there's other ones out there. Don't think I'm selling this one or anything. Let me try to get that glare. Okay. And basically, you see how I don't have it flat now, so it's having trouble. But you see how it has the directions, right? And something inside the phone is reading the Earth's magnetic field. So old school compasses, what do they have? They have, the metallic point that aligns with the Earth's magnetic field, the north-south field, and that's how we know which direction is north. So this is just the high-tech version. So what you want to do is go stand in your backyard once you've made your map next to one of your reference points on there. That same little turtle. Oh my goodness, friends, I'm sorry about that. I accidentally clicked and queued up the launch video again. Okay, so here we go. See if you guys can see this. So this is the app. It's a little bit dark, but you're going to go stand somewhere in your backyard next to one of your reference points, and they usually have north as red. So now I know that, I'm not in my backyard now, but where I am right now, this is north. So then on my map, that's when I can go in and draw my compass rose. I got my north, south, east, west. Have you guys learned tricks for how to do the compass rose and the directions, how they work together? One of mine is never eat soggy waffles, right? North, south, east, west. North, that's how you can go around, right? So never eat soggy waffles. Now notice on most maps, north is on top, right? Why is that? Well, because they're designing the map purposely with north on top. But in real life, north could be any direction. So in my backyard, it just so happens that this is north. Okay, so it seems backwards like it's pointing down, but that's how I drew my backyard, because this is my door. So I wanted the map to be facing that way. Okay, so 2 options. You could, option 1 is the Imaginarium approach. You design your own imaginary land with an X marking the spot of the buried treasure. Option 2 is make your backyard the landscape and draw a treasure map with your backyard. Now, for the part of making it look ancient and old, this is where the chemistry piece comes in. Now, you're going to need mom or dad to brew up a good old pot of joe, okay? And by that, I mean coffee. Actually, they don't have to drink it. There's a couple of different ways to do it. But if your mom or dad do drink coffee anyways, have them make a little extra, and you're going to put it in, I'll show you, a large bowl, okay? I'll adjust the camera now so you can see it in a second. And then you're going to take your map. Let's actually we'll use this one, okay? The example one of kind of the imaginary land. Okay. Now, what I like to do is, since we want it to be old anyways, and wrinkled and antique, is to kind of crumple it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and give you a view of the bowl now. So here's my map. I'm going to kind of crumple it up, and then watch this. Down into the old, not old coffee, it's just from a couple hours ago, but into the bowl of coffee. Just let it sit for a minute. Now the longer you leave it, the darker it's going to get. It's a little messy, so you're going to want to have some paper towels nearby, which I do. But I would say leave it in there for a few minutes because you want that coffee to get into the fibers of the paper and just stain it, right? Stain it. And it's going to give this old, aged effect, okay? Like to move it around a little bit, make sure that's getting in the cracks and stuff. Let me get my paper towel ready. Okay, I'm going to remove it. Okay, obviously find a spot where you can do this where you're not going to make too big a mess. Okay, I have just set it off to the side. But what I want to show you now, is one that I made earlier. Tell me if that does not look like an old raggedy treasure map that I have just discovered in some beat up old chest from a thrift store. Wouldn't that be fun, right? Okay, and now what I want to show you now is how to take it even next level. Now this needs special help and permission from an adult, from mom, dad, guardian, grandpa, grandma, whoever's there with you. This next part can only be done with special permission. And careful, do not try this part alone, okay? What we're going to do is make it look even more intensely authentic. So, moving my bowl of coffee out of the way. And now for this next part, we need a candle and something to light it with. Hence the adult help, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to light that candle. Okay, there it is. And what we're going to do here, the goal is to kind of age the edges. So just a little bit like that, and then blow it out. See that? Whoa. Ancient treasure map. Do a little bit more here. You don't want to overdo it. And not even the whole thing, just here and there. Do that corner. And what we have is a very cool, authentic looking treasure map that we can roll up into scroll form. And I think this could be a cool addition to some other projects that you work on this week for the cardboard challenge. Maybe one of the challenges, you're constructing a ship out of cardboard and you need a treasure to go with it. Maybe you're designing some kind of secret chest for one of your projects, or whatever it may be. This paper inspired project, I even got my little string here, could go hand in hand with one of your other amazing projects this week, or even on its own. It's an awesome fun project, and you could literally bury a treasure or time capsule in your backyard and record it all on an ancient treasure map. All right, folks, have a happy week. It's Earth Day, it's Cardboard Challenge. We hope to see you there. We hope to see the projects that you're working on. Real inspired learning here on NuMinds TV and at the Cardboard Challenge. Pursue your passion until it becomes your talent, and almost all passions can also be expressed through cardboard. Bye, folks.